to Jan's Views, a place where I share my views and listen to yours. Whether you are here for my artwork, live streams, shorts, or just for the giggles, please be assured I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you will enjoy your time here on my channel. I would be eternally grateful if you would give a like to the video, consider subscribing and, dare I ask, even become a member. So, without further ado, let's do this.
Hi, and welcome to Jan's Chats and Reacts. Tonight, I'm going to be looking at, well, this is going to be like what do you call it? Sorry, guys, I've not been very well, but I'm on the mend. You'll be happy to hear I'm on the mend. Anyway, this is like, it's an ongoing story, even though Jay has been found, or Jay's body has been found. I wanted to do another video just talking about the conspiracies and the theories that are going around as regards this story. And I think it would be interesting to look at why this case is just so intriguing. Is it the case is unusual? Is it that the circumstances surrounding Jay's disappearance are so unusual? Is it Jay's history of criminal and violent behaviour, or his friends' stories regarding his disappearance and the fact that they don't really add up? Is it the two suspicious side characters known to be with him prior to his disappearance? Or was it his family's behaviour and the interviews that they did? What was it that made this so inspiring? What made this case so intriguing? Not inspiring, unless you want to be a drug dealer. No, it's intriguing. Before we go any further, as regards Jay Slater, I want to liken it or compare it to the Michael Mosley story, which happened just a few months before this happened. Michael Mosley was a well-known TV personality. He was a doctor who had created or invented a diet, I think I'm right in saying, and he was quite often on UK TV. Now, he was on his holidays on a Greek island and disappeared. He left a few people somewhere, went for a walk and disappeared. And I think I'm right in saying, I should have done my homework, I'm rubbish at this. They didn't find him for over a week. I think it was longer than that. I'm going to find it now. After I finish filming this, I will put in the details for you. But anyway, what makes it similar to the Jay Slater case is that they were both on their holidays, both in very hot countries. Michael Mosley was in Greece, and Jay Slater was in Tenerife. Now, it's the same kind of scenario and the same outcome. So I'd like you to ask yourself, what was so fundamentally different about the two cases? Well, I would say, the obvious thing is that Michael Mosley was 67 years of age. He had studied at Oxford and moved on to study in medicine at the Royal Free Hospital in London and qualified as a doctor. Okay, we're not going to go too deeply into it, but that's one of the major differences. Whereas Jay Slater had only just really begun his adult life, and I would suggest had made very poor choices on where his life was going to go. I mean, I'm not saying that he envisioned himself falling off into, like, whatever, falling off a cliff somewhere. He didn't envisage that, obviously. But I would say that there are, we're talking on age and also talking on background. There's a major difference. I know. But there is one thing that I feel that ties the two together, and it's the police incompetence. Now, some people may not like that, but I do believe, as with these two, and also Madeleine McCann, the local police, their behaviour does seem a little bit suspect. That's all I'm saying. I mean, did they cover up Michael Mosley's situation? No, they I think were the ones that put it out into the public. And this guy was relatively well known over here, and so it was full steam ahead to try and find him. It still took them a long time to find him. And this is where I'm going to stop and edit in how long it actually took them to find him. Okay, so Michael Mosley, the British TV doctor who went missing on the Greek island of Symi, was found dead on Sunday, 4 days after he disappeared while on location. Okay, so that's the answer to that. So it was 4 days. There he is. Now, the thing is that's most peculiar about his death is that they're saying he died of natural causes. Well, as natural as it can be if you're burnt to a crisp on a Greek island. So, yeah, okay. But the most interesting thing for me was that it was very, very close to where people had supposedly looked, the local authorities and everything, they'd all looked there already. And he was like 200 yards from a cafe. I mean, you couldn't make it up, guys. Anyway, we're going off track. So the point I was trying to make was, what is the difference between a TV doctor going missing and somebody such as Jay Slater going missing? I feel a lot of it has to do with the local police. I'm not saying they did it. I'm saying that the way the information is given to the public and, whether everything's thrown into it or not. It's the same with the Madeleine McCann thing. It's like there's an awful lot to ponder, I think, when you look at how these cases come to the public eye. I will say, though, that whether or not they're famous or not, the local police are bloody useless at finding them. Maybe it's because they're British. Who knows? Anyway, let's get back to Jay. Now then, what I think is you need to look at the theories and conspiracies as, are they actual theories or are they facts? Now, I've been watching quite a few YouTubers going over this. That's how I get my information. I don't go on TikTok. I'm way too old for that, guys. But from what I've seen is there are a lot of facts out there about Jay Slater. And one of the things that I feel needs to be addressed is that just because somebody talks on it on a YouTube channel or on TikTok, if they so wish, doesn't mean to say that it's all made up. This young man by the name of Wax Unfiltered, I find, gives out a lot of information, and so far I've not caught him out on a lie or anything, or even a conspiracy. I think there's a difference between people speaking on the situation and speaking on the facts that have been given to somebody who's actually sat at home coming up with their own theories or their conspiracies. I highly doubt that people are sat at home making up stories of how, why, and when this 19-year-old Lancashire lad went missing. I just don't think that's happening, guys. But everybody can make up their own mind.
Slater TikTok videos are not only going to make you question the disappearance, but they're also going to make you question whether this was an actual cover-up. Let's check this out.
5 new riddles surrounding Jay Slater's case emerge as the search enters its 4th week. Since Jay first vanished, officials have been puzzled about why he went back to the Airbnb with 2 random men instead of his own apartment. A new theory suggests he lost his room key and was looking for a place to stay. Messages seen by the Sun show Jay complaining about
Okay, so what doesn't make sense is that he lost his room key and he had nowhere to stay. But at that time, he would have had battery on his phone, so he could have communicated with Brad. However, we do have a clip of Brad's mum's voice note, and she is speaking to a friend or someone explaining, what happened that night with Brad. We will get into that. Stay locked.
Stay locked, guys. We're getting in there. Right, so what we have to realise is you have to make out what is fact and what is conspiracy. Okay, fact for me in my little, diagram of what's fact and what's conspiracy. Fact is that he was involved in criminal activities. Conspiracy is that friends knew the truth. Okay, I've gone along with that. I'm thinking, they know what happened. Fact that family were aware of his shady activities. I don't know. Is that a fact or is that a conspiracy? So is it a fact or a theory that his family were aware of his shady activities? I feel that because he was taken to court for something really violent at home, that obviously they knew he was a bit shady. They knew he was violent. So I think there is a bit of fact there that they were aware of his shady activities. Another reason I suspect that is that I've seen some of his interviews or his family's interviews, and I don't know. Did they seem genuine to you? I mean, I can only speak for myself, and to me, they weren't genuine. I just didn't feel that they were genuine.
Men, not according to Brad's mum.
Messages seen by the Sun show Jay complaining about losing his key while partying with Kasim. However, Jay's family dismisses this theory, saying he's not stupid.
So they believe that Jay was actually looking for his key in this clip. Like, this is a moment where he dropped his key and he was looking for it, and that got caught on camera, right? That out of the many moments that could have been caught on camera, the moment when he dropped his key and he was looking for his key, that's what was caught on camera, right?
Yeah, fat chance of that. I mean, and this is where people are putting things together, guys. Just at that point, they was caught on camera. He happened to drop his keys. Okay.
Okay.
Jay's dad, Warren, also questioned why his son ended up at a remote home with 2 grown men.
Exactly.
Mark Williams Thomas has claimed that Jay was offered a phone charger in the hours before he vanished but refused to use it.
So again, he had battery on his phone. Not only that, according to Brad's mum, which we will get to, he was with Brad when he was with these 2 guys. He still had battery on his phone to call Brad or call Lucy or call someone. That festival was only 8 minutes journey in a car to his hotel. So
mad. Absolutely mad. Another thing, is it a conspiracy? I don't know. Maybe it is a conspiracy. Is that he supposedly knew these 2 32-year-old men. Well, one of them's 32-year-old drug dealers. He already knew them, guys, in Lancashire. That's interesting that he happened to know them before he actually went to Tenerife. Okay. So, is that a fact Or is that a theory? I'll let you decide.
So he could have walked from the festival back to the hotel. He didn't have to get into the car with these two guys. But why did he get in the car with the two guys? Why was he left with these two guys?
Mark spoke to Kasim and pieced together a clear picture of the moments before Jay left the Airbnb. The three men left the rave together and drove back to the accommodation. After arriving, Jay apparently asked Kasim for a phone charger and a cigarette. The final Snapchat taken from the teen showed him sitting outside the...
And this is the picture. This is the picture. This is the final picture that Jay would have put on his Snapchat on his first holiday in Tenerife, high in the mountains with beautiful skies, beautiful scenery, beautiful landscape. And he decides to take a picture of his feet and a cigarette in Lucy's blanket. What?
I do have to say, right, don't laugh, but I do have to say, right, my teen, I've got a teenager, well, he's not a teenager anymore, but when he was a teenager, he went to Iceland with his college. And I said to him, make sure you take loads of pictures. I want to see what it's like because, you know, it's like everyone wants to go to Iceland. It's a fabulous place. When he came back, he had not one picture. So, yeah, I mean, maybe that's just a teenage boy thing. I don't know. But I do get this guy's point. It does seem a bit suspect. It seems very weird that he would take a picture of his hand. And what I want to say here is that there is a theory that these pictures that were taken were actually taken after Jay's death. But that, of course, that goes in the theories side, doesn't it? It's got to be a theory. We don't know that to be fact. Not yet, anyway.
Woman told me I can get a bus every 10 minutes to Los Cristianos. Mark says that Kasim told him no bus is coming and offered to drive him after taking a nap, but the teen left anyway. Kasim claims that he received a panicked call from a friend of Jay's about Jay being in a ditch somewhere and he's been cut up by a cactus. The identity of the friend has not been released.
The identity of the friend has not been released. Why not? Why do we not know who the friend is?
Any of Jay's family...
Again, is this supposition? Is this for sure? Again, we're getting all the sources from the family and from the friends. And this is why I threw in the Michael Mosley story, because it's just so vastly different. Although the same situations or same scenarios happened, they're just told so differently online. I mean, nobody came online and said how awful Michael was, you know, or threw up his past or anything like that, as far as I know. But in this situation, because of Jay and his past and maybe his present, what he was doing at the time, of course there's going to be conspiracies about it. But I think also we still need to look at the information sources. Who is telling the stories? Who is telling the public what happened? I've heard the story several times of Jay telling his friend that he's been cut by a cactus. I'm sorry, guys, but I wouldn't have thought that cacti would cut people. I think they get more of a prick, don't they? I mean, they've got long spikes. I mean, would you normally get cut by cacti? I mean, I don't know. It just seems a bit of a weird thing to say. Scraped, but cut. I don't know. That's just me. But I will say that has come from one of his friends.
That car, but he chose to just walk through some terrain, some jungle. And this is Brad's mum. Let's hear what she got to say.
Yeah, of course. The fact that he actually was on a FaceTime call to my son in that location suggests he's in that location, because he was on the phone to him and he said, I mean, all I can see is greenery. Then the phone...
While the advert's playing, I've seen the terrain there. Is it greenery? Was it greenery? I thought it was rocks and mountains and things. Anyway, I could be completely wrong, but okay, let's just carry on.
The phone died. I mean, that's questionable because I'm pretty sure Brad said he was getting another call from someone. Someone else was trying to call him at the time, and he said he was going to call him back. So did the phone die, or was he getting a call from someone?
See, this is what I like about this guy. He doesn't let anything go, and he's not conspiring. He's not making things up. He's just listening to the information that the people that were involved in it have put out there. You know, they've actually said that, you know, these things, and Mr. Wax Unfiltered is like, he's on the ball, and it's like, well, hang on a minute. He said this. So these people that keep saying, oh, you know, all these conspiracies and everything, where are they coming from? They're actually coming from the information that they're given by people that were involved in it.
Quite possibly believe that he has the phone, like he's in that area. I don't know. Of course, I'll keep you updated.
So I believe she's sending this to someone she knows, and whoever that person is has released this information to the public, basically.
I can't think. Where he was staying, there is right. So, they've been to this festival, and then they've ended up. My son said he wants to go back to the apartment. Jay had other ideas of going with these other lads, which they knew, which were fine.
Which they knew, which was fine. So they did know these guys then. Why have they not mentioned that? Did Brad mention that? Did Lucy mention that they knew who these guys were? Was it one of them that gave them the call? Brad said that he wanted to go home, but he left Jay with these two guys. This is Jay's first time on a holiday. How irresponsible was that? This is a 19-year-old boy on holiday. I'm not too sure how old Brad is, but either way, you don't go on holiday and leave your friend with two 31-year-old men in Tenerife when you already know what it's like in Tenerife. Why would Brad or Lucy leave Jay with these two grown men? For what? And what about the AP that was posted on Jay's Instagram? You didn't see that? Because you, in your interview, were acting like he hadn't done anything and there was no reason to be concerned.
Brad to say, well, come back, you know, come home with me. I don't really want to go back on my own. But Brad wanted to go back, so he's gone back. And he said, listen.
Okay, so he basically said, come back with me, Jay. I don't want to go back on my own. But he decided to just say, all right, cool, I'm just going to go and I'm leaving Jay with these 31-year-old men. That's what he decided to do.
Listen, you ring me, Jay, when you get there. And you stay in contact with me, which he did.
You ring me, Jay, when you get there. Get where? Get where? I don't understand at this point. Get where? You're with him right now. Take him back to the hotel.
Why are these people who are heard with their own voices to be speaking on something that they've been told from somebody that was there at the time? Why are these people not being pulled up on the discrepancies in the story? Why are they just allowed to like sugarcoat it all or just smooth it along? Oh yeah, this happened and that. No, it doesn't make sense.
So at this point, does Brad know that he has got the AP on him and he's going with these guys to sell the AP? Is that what they're doing at that moment in time? And then he doesn't return. So an AP has been stolen then. And Brad knows about the AP that's been stolen. Is that why Brad left him with the guys? Did Brad feel shifty about the guys? So he didn't want to go, but he still allowed Jay to go?
He did do. Brad told him to put his phone on charge. And he said he was going to get some kip. It was the last message to him. We're going to get some kip and then I'll ring and get a taxi in the morning. So
who's going to ring and get a taxi in the morning? What she's saying here is really incoherent, not making sense. It's kind of all over the place. It sounds like there's been a conversation between her and Brad about specific key points, and she's trying to regurgitate and remember what's been said.
Brad's not been asleep, my son.
Brad's not been asleep. So what do you mean Brad's not been asleep? So that means Brad knew what was going on then. Brad felt shifty. He didn't want to go with Jay and these guys. Why though? Why would Jay then put that on his Snapchat? Was Jay that high? Did Jay actually put that on his Snapchat without even revealing the watch? But he mentioned it. Based on what the mum's saying, it sounds like Brad knows what's gone on. And if what the mum's saying here is true, then it means what Abe's been saying is all wrong. That he lost his keys and he didn't have nowhere to stay because all his friends left him.
I'm just feeling for his family. That's
I want to know whether these guys, like this boy here, Brad, have been questioned by the police. I want to know. And if not, and also Lucy, who is very closely involved in this as well, and also the drug dealer. I mean, have they not been interviewed by the police? From what I gather, the answer to that is no. And they were allowed to leave the country a few days after, even before they'd found Jay's body. And they wonder why. And then you get these people sort of like the mother now, Jay Slater's mother, going on with a, well, I shouldn't throw it in, but, £60,000 worth of GoFundMe money. You've then got her saying, oh, well, everyone should shut up about it and all their conspiracies and blah, blah. No, they're not conspiracies because we can see for ourselves what these people are saying and it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. So I don't think they're theories and conspiracies. I think they're based on the truth.
That's why I'm still here. Personally, I've been here for now 2 weeks and a day. It's like, I don't feel like I could go back without knowing what's actually happened. I can't come on holiday with my best friend and go back with no one. At the moment, I don't feel like anything. It just feels like nothing. I'm seeing his mum and dad every day. They're crying all the time, stuff like that.
It's like this guy. I watch a lot of true crime, and I'm telling you, I've seen more compassion, more emotion on a psychopath's face than I've seen of this boy talking about his best friend who he went on holiday with ending up dead at the bottom of a cliff or in undergrowth. I mean, what's going on? I really hope that they find out the truth and that these people, this young lad and the mum who's spinning all these stories, are held accountable because it's dodgy. As we say over here in Britain, it's dodgy AF.
So it's hard, but we just gotta keep strong for everyone.
No, I can understand that. You've got to stay strong for everyone. But at this point, you hadn't looked for Jay, not once. And that's extremely questionable if he's your best friend. This is 2 weeks after he's been missing. You were with Jay and those two guys, and you wanted to go home. And you told Jay, oh, come back with me because you didn't want to go home alone. But, Jay, he had other ideas. He wanted to go off with these two guys. Clearly, it must have been in regards to this watch or something else. But you told him, that, okay, cool, make sure you stay in touch with me, blah, blah, blah. And he did. He did. So what happened, Brad? What actually happened? And why didn't you go searching for your friend? Do you know something that we don't?
What do you think's happened to him?
I don't, there's that many things it could be. I don't know. It could be up there. She could have fell over somewhere.
He could just be up there. He fell over somewhere. Why is that the first thing that comes to your mind?
People are saying you've been took by for what? For what reason? Does it happen? I don't know if it happens around here.
Insane. Absolutely insane. So I think for those people that are attacking people, YouTubers and TikTok creators for speaking out on this, I think they need to, just pull in the reins a bit because the creators are only going on what's been put out there by these people that don't seem the most truthful people. That's what I say. I think the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle are out there, all waiting to be slotted into place. like with any puzzle, there are many ways to build a full completed picture. Some start with the corner pieces, then the outer edges, before filling in the middle. And some group the pieces by colour and methodically build little puzzles within the puzzle, whilst others just jump right in, shake all the pieces out, and hope for the best. Which one are you? What type of puzzle builder are you? Each piece of the Jay Slater jigsaw puzzle is out there. Some days we may only receive one piece, whereas another day we're handed many pieces. Some of the pieces don't appear to fit anywhere, and we need to ascertain if it actually belongs to another puzzle. I would love to hear how your puzzle is looking. Do you think you have all the pieces yet? I don't. I think there's more puzzle pieces. I think, when you're doing a puzzle and you're looking for a specific piece and it ends up you find it somewhere really bizarre, like under the chair and on the other side of the room or something. I'm interested to see that once all the pieces are found and put together, what the true story is about this. And I think we're not going to get it from his family and his friends, and that's why I applaud people that are speaking out on it, that are pulling up all the the indiscretions and discrepancies in these stories, because the truth is out there, guys. So you keep looking. In the meantime, I'm going to end this here, and I may do a follow-on because it's such an intriguing story. And tell me what you think at the end, without any conspiracies or or whatever. What are your thoughts on the puzzle? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you wouldn't mind, give me a like to the video, and take care of yourselves out there, because trust me, it's a rotten old world. So until the next one, bye-bye for now.